room, but not at the bottom. Not at the bottom. Now, there's been discussions on things to do, and some of them can't be public, because, and the reason they can't be public only is there's negotiations that may involve purchasing land to remedy, and it's not a simple fix. It's going to take a lot of figuring out. Now, Dave came up with a short list of quick things that, I don't mean to say it like that, but let's try these things, and they would help us while we're trying to solve the bigger picture. Now, in the past history of Evansville, they've never done a regional study till we did one. And that's evident by everybody that's in the Abbey Cove subdivision. That's where all of you are. Where is your retention pond? You don't have one. You don't have one. The one you have is not Abbey Cove. It's on the Ringhand land.
So what are we going to do
So,
about that?
in other words, when that was approved, which was prior to Dave Sauer, that was approved with no retention pond. Because you don't have one.
Can you go back to that and say?
No,
I mean, can you go back?
That's back in the history of.
Amendments or something? Can you make amendments to certain things?
No, that's back in.
Roger, how'd they get approved by the city?
That's back in another era of engineering, and I don't
But these
know.
people should know. I mean,
Well, yeah, but I'm just telling them, I'm telling them straight that that was approved by a previous engineer. And
Okay,
that,
but then the city approved that.
well, the city doesn't, that previous engineer worked for the city. He sat where Dave sits now.
Okay,
And they got rid of him.
okay.
And they got rid of him because of concerns that weren't,
They go based on the facts from.
yeah, and they're doing the, and these guys sitting here, they're doing the best job they can.
Well, we understand.
And we rely on our experts.
Okay, but, so, this is wonderful, you're explaining it wonderfully, but where does that leave us?
Well,
Abbey Cove.
it leaves you this, it leaves you with this. To start with, you're too low. And that will never be changed because you can't raise the houses up. And you can't make the dirt go lower. And I think somebody made a comment last meeting, you can dig to China and you can't make a difference. So what we gotta do now is we've gotta stop the mass flow. We've gotta slow it down. Because everybody talks about the creek doesn't empty. We gotta slow it down so that the creek has time to empty. And for my sake, all I can put it in mind is saying, we need more bathtubs. Because the bathtub north of the town is, or north of Porter is working.
So Roger, I know for sure Tina, Laura, and I don't know who else in the neighborhood, we've hired contractors to come in to break up our basement floor
Mhm.
to redo the drain tile.
Well, now let me go on to that point for a minute, because I've been involved, I'm aware of some of that. Now again, I never did any house in
I
there.
know, but
Caught
what
the
I'm saying is
dishes.
to beef up the system so this
Yeah.
never happens again, because we want to improve our property.
Yeah.
But is that
But here,
enough?
but now I'm aware of a concern that a person, and he's here tonight, he'll figure it out when I start talking about it. They lived there for 5 years and they never had a drop of rain, water in their basement. They never had their pump work till Thursday morning. Now what has happened to them is a combination of two things. The perched water table that Dave talked about, because it's just taking time for that all to go, to get out of there. And the other is, you probably will find, upon further investigation, that they have a poor drain tile